You're listening to Texas Live with K5, your number one resource for all things outdoors in North Texas.
Welcome to Texas Live with K5 here. Thanks for tuning in. I've got a really special guest, a good friend of mine, Chris Baires. How you doing, Chris?
Good.
Good, man.
Thanks for having me on this. This is awesome, man. This is real cool, man. I appreciate you having me on this.
Absolutely, man. Just a little quick backstory. Chris, I'm not going to tell this whole entire story, but Chris owns NTX Elite. They're an authorized service center for Minn Kota. They install electronics. Kind of a little backstory. 2.5 years ago, when we opened up, my dad and I flew up to Minnesota to go through Minn Kota training. And when we were up there in Mankato, I thought, man, we're going to be the only Texans here. And they said NTX Elite in Lewisville, Texas. And I looked over and I said, holy cow, we got another Texan in the house. So anyway, this guy, he's a walking encyclopedia on marine electronics, and it's just another one of my go-tos if I have any questions or anything, guys. And I wanted to bring him on, man. Chris, tell your story, dude.
Man, so just kind of a story of how we started and how I got into this business. So my background is in AV and low voltage. So I did that for probably 6 or 7 years. I did a lot of like the Top Golf and traveled the country doing all that. And when COVID came around, I got laid off. And so my wife, she's a big supporter of everything I do. And she basically said, hey, if you're going to do this, your little niche that you like to do on the side, go all in and do it now. Now's the time. And when you're starting a business, you can't really be in it halfway. It's you got to go all in, or and so that's what I did. I pretty much went all in, started doing this in the garage, and before I know it, man, it just kind of blew up in my face. And I wish I had some kind of fairy tale story that somebody handed this business to me, or I had inherited a bunch of money and was able to this was blood, sweat, and tears, man, for 2.5 years out of the garage, and it just blew up to what it is now. We have a great following, of great customers, and now we have the shop, and it's been great, man. It's all been through hard work, not just kind of been handed to us type thing. It's hard work every day, man, and it's customer service, doing what's right by our customers, and being fair, and just like you and I have, man, just having a great relationship with people, and just making the best of the opportunity that we have, man, here in North Texas. So,
and so where's your shop located? For those that don't know, I have a hard time believing that our viewers aren't going to know where NTX Elite is, but
so our shop is in Lewisville. Address is 1865 McGee Lane. We're right there off 407 and 35. We're maybe about 3 minutes from Tower Bay, so we're super close to the lake. Anytime we need to do any on the water testing, the lake's right there. So we're in a good area. I think the nickname for that little area is like the nautical mile. Got tons of boat dealers, and then we're kind of in a little shopping center in a corner. It's a nice little shop. It's been a lot of work. You showed up there, and we got the showroom where we can show and explain all the different graphs and the different technology that's out there. Because to me, that's the biggest thing in this industry, is being able to show people the different technology. Because in the past 10 years, it's grown so much and it's changed so much that even now, I would say in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've had 3 THSBA boat captains show up and say, I don't know anything about live scope. I'm new to this technology. Can you help me pick out what I need? And having that showroom and showing them, hey, this is what you need, and being able to explain the technology, man, to me, that's a big plus about our shop and our showroom there, being able to show that kind of stuff. So.
I love it, man, because there's something to be said about walking into a shop and being able to put your hands on the equipment. Like you got display units. He's got batteries there on site. If you have an issue with a battery, there's no having to wait on it. It's there. You just walk in and pay for it and get y'all to install it, and you're on your way, man.
Yeah. I like to keep it like that old coffee shop where guys can just come in there and hang out and talk fishing. And we got a TV, and we're usually playing old Bassmaster tournaments on there, or if the live one's on, we'll have that going. But it's just a place to hang out, talk fishing, and talk electronics, man. That's what we do. I try to educate myself on all three brands and learn the ins and outs because it's a lot of information. And just like Lynn, man, Lynn will tell you it's a lot. And if you know, let's say majority of each brand, it goes a long way to be able to show people like, hey, you have a Minn Kota trolling motor, but you have all Lowrance graphs. Just know those two things aren't going to integrate. But if you went with, say, a Ghost, everything could integrate. You could tell your trolling motor to go to this waypoint through your graph, stuff like that. People don't even know they can even do that.
Right.
So, that's the nice part about having that. But yeah.
What's even more awesome about this is Chris is a fisherman.
Oh,
and when I met Chris and his best friend Tim up there in Minnesota, we immediately hit it off because we're all fishermen. We love the sport. We love being in the outdoors. And man, how long you been fishing?
all my life, man. Like everybody else, I've been fishing all my life. I'm originally from California, and I don't tell people that.
Oh
You know,
man,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut that out, dude.
Yeah. So when we moved here back in '98, I was new to the whole freshwater thing because I was a saltwater fisherman. And man, I cut my teeth on that Lake Lewisville fishing barge, bass fishing. Basically spent from the time school was over on Fridays, my mom would drop me off and spent all weekend there, man. Just bass fishing, crappie fishing, carp fishing, and that just took off, man. It just became an addiction of this is all I want to do, and even to this day, I mean, a lot of my family would say, like, he has always loved fishing since he was a little kid, and then now being in the industry, man, I enjoy it. I love it because it's still fishing. It's electronics and installation stuff like that, but it's still fishing. I still get to talk about the hobby that I love and enjoy. So it's fun, man. I enjoy it.
I don't know about you, but my wife and my best friend that works with me in the shop, he every time, and I love boats. I mean, we get all kinds of boats that come in here just like y'all do, and every time one comes in, it doesn't matter if it's a old flat bottom aluminum boat. I'm like, man, I'd like to have that boat. So I mean,
Yeah.
I love fishing and I love boats. A little backstory on me: back whenever I was in high school, Lake Weatherford is right down the road here.
Mhm.
And my dad would give me a hard time because when you're in high school, it's all about playing football, chasing girls, this and that. And whenever people were headed to school in the mornings, they'd drive by Lake Weatherford down there at the wall, and they'd see Tim Kaiser down there waded out halfway in the water, catching big old bass. Man, I didn't care nothing about any of the rest of it. I played football, but I wanted to catch fish, and that's all. I eat, sleep, and breathe fishing. So I
Yeah.
think that's why I have such a passion for what we do here,
Right.
and why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Even Tim, my buddy, will tell you, man. Hopefully, my mom's not watching this, but there's many times where we skip school to just go fish, man.
Yep.
We just love it that much. And then now with the high school fishing, even better, man, because I feel like the way things are in this world, man, kids need to stay active, and fishing's a great way to do that. Get out in the outdoors and not be behind a screen all day. It's fun to see kids that I know that I've coached through baseball, and now they're in high school and they're like, hey, coach, I'm fishing on my high school team. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. And then, they're asking me for advice, like, what's something to, what's a good bait to throw right now on Lewisville? Everybody always asks me for advice on Lewisville. I've been fishing Lewisville since I was 14 years old. So right now I have a lot of high school kids like, oh, my tournament's in 2 weeks. Like, where should I go? I'm like, get out there, figure it out, man. That's what I did. It's Lewisville. You'll run into one.
man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I cannot stand fishing that lake. I've actually done fairly decent out there, but it's tough. I think the best I've ever done on Lewisville was when it flooded. I went out there. It was probably, I don't know. And actually, I have my PB. My personal best was caught on Lewisville.
Wow.
It was kind of funny because I was fishing a Kings of Cowtown qualifier. It was probably one of the very first ones that I ever fished. and I pulled through the, I can't remember, is it Pier 121,
Yep.
where you go through
The little cut there.
cut? Yeah. You go through the cut, and I was fishing some flooded weeds back in there with a buzz bait. First cast of the morning, dude. Chuck, 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 chuck. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
977.
Nice.
I weighed on my scale, and it showed over 10 pounds. Well, for those of you that don't know, my wife has the personal best of the family. She's got a 979, and she caught that with a really good friend of mine during a tournament. But for probably the last 14 years now, I've been working as hard as I can to try to break that record.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that day, I was pumped. My dad's got a 1002 right here on the wall, or not on the wall, but right here on this picture.
Mhm.
And my wife's got a 979, and I had broke it 10 something. And I get up there to weigh in, and it was 977 on the TTO scales.
Man.
And I went, you got to be kidding me.
Oh,
So anyway,
yeah.
but that's a toad, and I haven't caught one bigger than that yet.
Yeah.
So
I'm right there with you, man.
can't complain.
Yep, I'm in the 9s also from Lewisville. It's a tricky lake, but I like to think of it as a spots lake, meaning if you got 20 spots to hit, they're gonna be at one of them, and it fishes very, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, two patterns basically: summer pattern, spring pattern. I mean, like this time of year, stay deep, fish brush piles. You will run into them. You know, if you got 20 brush piles, they'll be on one of them, and it's just time on the water on that lake. I think the biggest steak I've ever had out there was 24 pounds, 25 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awesome day. That's probably the best time I've ever had out there. But I've also, when I was guiding out there, you know, springtime, pre-spawn bite, throwing spinner baits around some of that flooded buckbrush and having 18, 20-pound days. And clients were like, never have I ever caught this many fish on this lake. But, it's just time on the water like anything.
Yeah.
I wish I could do more of it, but business is business, and it'll come whenever the time's right. So.
That's what I tell everybody. This is how I'm kind of living out my fishing now.
Yeah.
It's talking about it during the best times of the year to go fishing. You and I are covered up,
Yep.
Trying to get everybody else's stuff back going. And so I love talking fishing. I got so many stories to tell, and it's a lot of fun.
It is. And we're so blessed with great customers, and they're always inviting. Hey, if you get a day, let's go to Boat Arc, or, I got some big guides out west that fish JB and OH, and they're always, come on, jump on my boat. If you've looked at any of their rates, they ain't cheap. And these guys are just jump on. I just want you to fish with me. And just this time of year, with everybody wanting the new equipment installed, and then baseball, we're so busy. So I'm hoping mid-November-ish, I'll get back on the water. So
we always say, I always tell my wife, if we slow down a little bit, you don't really want to slow down. It's kind of a happy medium there. So, but hey, who's those guides out there out west? You want to mention them? Or?
Yeah. Christian Gladfelter with Launch Guide Service. Dude is awesome. For you guys that are running Lowrance and Active Target 2, he really knows his stuff. And, I like to think that I know a lot about electronics, but he taught me a lot of things out there that I wasn't even aware of. And just how fish look from a long distance away, because I think his distance out on that Active Target 2 is anywhere from 80 to 100 feet out. Wow. And I'm not used to that distance. I'm more in the 60 to 70, but everything looks so elongated, and I don't know what I'm looking at, but he's got that eye, man. He's got that eye, and he'll point them out and say, that's a 9-10 pounder right there. And I'm like, dang. Sure enough, man, with the couple months, June, July, we went out there with him on a night trip, and it was on. I think I caught 2 6.5, 2 8.5, and then my buddy Tim, he caught an 8.5, and he caught a 995.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
It was like bouncing back and forth between that 995 and like 1003, and then finally it locked in at that 995. But anybody that wants to go chase that double digit, man, give Christian a call. He'll definitely put you on him for sure.
I haven't ever met Christian, but being really good friends with Chris here, I went on there and followed him on Facebook, and y'all ought to do the same thing, man. Dude's posting pictures, videos. I mean, he seems like a solid
Yeah.
stick to me.
Yeah,
So if y'all get on there and check him out, who knows? Maybe one day we might have him on the show. We'll see what happens. So
Yeah, and then he's also kind of partnered up with a guy named Lawrence Lee. And for the guys that throw those big swim baits, they kind of know who Lawrence is. He's a big swim bait guy. I think last year he caught the first share lunker of the season. I think it was 13 and some change out of JB. But that guy's a stick also. I mean, he's showed me and taught me so much about the big baits. And you want to talk about a hardcore fisherman, that's him.
okay,
That guy will work all night and then drive south to the coast to get on a tuna boat for like 3 days.
Wow.
It's crazy. And then he'll say, "Hey, I'm getting off the boat. I'm gonna come drop it off." I'm like, "Dude, do you ever sleep? Like, do you ever sleep?" Because the amount of back and forth just to the fish, man, is crazy.
I don't know about you, dude, but I think we've been there. But
Oh,
I think my age is starting to catch up with me a little bit because it's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough to get up early
Oh yeah,
and all that anymore. But,
yeah. But I
uh,
mean, when you're as dialed in as those guys are, I mean, I think Christian has probably caught well over 50 to 100 double digit bass. I mean, I think last year he told me between him and his clients, they caught over like 130 double digit bass. And same thing with Lawrence. I mean, Lawrence has caught, I think, 3 or 4 13s. And I mean, I don't know how many double digits he has, but when you're that dialed in and you can catch a double digit once a week, I mean, yeah, I could probably get up if I knew I was going to be catching a double digit bass. You know what I mean?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to take a break real quick. Y'all stay tuned. We got Chris Baires here, NTX Elite, really good friend of ours. So y'all stay tuned. This show's brought to you by NTX Elite in Lewisville. If y'all need electronics, you're on the east side of the Metroplex, give them a call. They're just super good people. They do really good work, top notch. They know what's going on. Give them a ring. They do trolling motor repair. Guys, I can't say enough good things about NTX, so give them a ring. This is also brought to you by K5 Trolling Motors and Electronics out in Weatherford, Texas. If you're on the west side of the Metroplex, give them a ring. They install electronics. They work on trolling motors. If you're in a bind with a trolling motor, give them a holler. Welcome back to Texas Live with K5 here. I got a really good friend of mine, Chris Baires, NTX Elite Marine over in Lewisville, Texas. Chris, what do you know about the Texas high school fishing scene?
I think it's blown up over the last couple of years. And I know our shop, we're seeing almost a new boat coming in that's fishing the high school tournaments almost every week. And honestly, a lot of these captains, they're new to forward facing sonar and they're just not sure what to get. We're seeing a lot more captains coming in and just asking a lot of questions on what they should and shouldn't get. And I don't know about you, but I always, when I explain forward facing sonar and the different technologies, I always call it like the Ford Chevy debate. Everybody has their likes and dislikes, and I always base it off of what their current technology is and how that will integrate with the technology that they want. My personal opinion, Garmin, hands down. I think their forward facing sonar to me looks the best. Some guys will say it's Lowrance and some will say it's Mega Life 2 and Humminbird. But I just think Garmin's got that corner of the market down. And so I will always lean guys towards Garmin. I just think, like, my eyes, and I don't know about you, but when I'm out on the water, to me, the Garmin just looks a lot sharper. But everybody's different. Some guys like the Lowrance, but I don't know. What are you guys seeing here at your shop?
We're seeing a lot of that too. One thing that I do see is a lot of captains that have really never operated a boat, never fished in any type of tournaments or anything, and they're learning. So when they come to us, I could sell them some, a heck of a package of electronics, but being a boat captain for 9 years, I kind of have an idea of where they need to start, as far as, you know, I feel like it's more important for a boat captain to have a trolling motor that's going to target lock or spot lock than the electronics. And let's just say that they're because they've got a junior division now. You could start fishing. I believe it's the third or fourth grade.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. And then they've got a high school division. So if when they're so young, I feel like it's super important to learn how to operate the trolling motor. And then you're going to have those days. I don't think there's ever been a nice day that we fished one of these tournaments. It seems like a hardcore cold front comes in, something happens, the wind's blowing 40 mile an hour. And I can't tell you how many times that spot lock saved my butt out on the water, because if these kids, their balance is not the greatest, they don't have sea legs like you and I have. There's a lot of times when I could just get out there off that point, hit spot lock, and I could just sit down in the bottom of the boat and let them stand up there and cast at that point. And I've had 4 sets of kids now that have graduated that I've basically captained. And I think they would probably say the same thing, that the spot lock was a game changer for them. And so I feel like early on, that's like my first recommendation. Get a good trolling motor, make sure that you can spot lock, make sure you have a remote or you can operate it on your phone or whatever. And then as the kids start getting used to it, maybe incorporate a live sonar or a forward facing sonar.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think having a trolling motor that has the spot lock or the anchor capabilities is huge. And then having the ability to control that trolling motor with like a remote or through your phone is important for the captains as well. Because when I was captaining, I just sat in the back and I just had the remote and I just went down the bank or whatever I felt like the direction we needed to go. They didn't have to worry. The kids didn't have to worry about the trolling motor. I was running that, but having the ability to do that, to me, gives you that more of an advantage. The guys that, not that you can't compete with a trolling motor that doesn't have spot lock, because you absolutely can, but it's one less thing to have to worry about, especially like you said, windy conditions, terrible conditions. I mean, you get up on a point, the last thing you want to do is be up there and, just having to work that trolling motor. I mean, and guys will tell you day in and day out, we see it all the time. They go from a 4-Trex to an Ultrex, and they're like, oh my gosh, I should have just done this years ago. And I'm like, I know, but it's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's great technology to have. And if people ask me, hey, new trolling motor or a new head unit, well, I'm getting the trolling motor every time. I mean, and then as things progress, get a graph that integrates with the trolling motor. I mean, that people don't realize how much you can do with your graphs when they integrate with the trolling motor. Following a contour line. Garmin, you can plot a chart. Go on your app the day before and say, okay, I want to follow this contour line. I want to go in this cove, and I want to go from here to there. And then the next morning you get there and just tell that trolling motor, all right, follow this course. And it just does its thing.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool technology.
I got a really good friend of mine that he actually set the lake record on Lake Palapino last winter for Blue Cat. And we're going to have him on here soon, so you'll get to hear his story. But he has a Tarova on his boat, and he uses that function. He sets his course because he does and dude, I've been fishing with him one time, so I'm not a cat fisherman by no means. But he does his drifting or whatever, and he sets it on that course and goes and he catches fish on that one line nearly every time he goes out.
That's one of the guides that we do work for, Jake, with the Barefoot Guide Service. He's out of Lewisville. He does a lot of hybrids, catfish, stuff like that. But he'll tell you he's got a Quest on his center console, but he uses that drift mode, and he'll tell you that drift mode is a game changer. Like being able to use that, run that same line. I mean, he that's his favorite feature of that motor. Man. So, I mean, it's all cool technology that some people don't even realize they have. So,
yeah. Well, and I don't know about you, but back when I used to get to fish a bunch, the focus was on fishing offshore certain times of the year. And not only is it it's important to be able to see the fish, but how to set up on those fish, like the cast that you need to make to be able to bring it through the strike zone is important. And what's kind of cool, and I know some people get kind of annoyed with it, but if you having your Ultrex linked up with your Humminbird through the One Boat Network, it shows you, okay, I spot locked right here and my waypoint's over here. And so let's say you go out fishing the next time, you can literally you get in the area, drop your trolling motor and hit go to
Yep.
go to spot lock or go to waypoint, and it's going to set you up in the exact location that you were set up when you whacked the fish on the previous trip.
Oh yeah.
And that's important when you're fishing. I mean, you say you fish Lewisville, you know that there's humps and there's offshore points and stuff, and setting up, you can't see them like you do rocks up on the bank or something. It's important. Setup's important.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was actually telling, we have a high school kid that's working at our shop, and he's kind of picking my brain. He's like, how do you set up on these brush piles? I'm like, well, first I make sure there's fish on them before I waste my time. But then I usually try to go downwind from them. And this time of year, I'll start with like a 10XD. And of course, I pulled one out, and he's like, dang. He's like, I don't know if I can throw something like that. I'm like, you'll be surprised that 2-3 pounders will come eat this. But the way I set up on those brush piles is I'll get the brush pile maybe 25-30 yards from me and make a long cast behind it, and then I'll get that 10XD to just come right on top of it, and then nothing hits that, then I'll work with a worm or a jig, something like that. But yet, like you said, it's how you set up on them, because sometimes they're set up kind of in weird angles, and if you don't throw that bait right in their face, they may not even see it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to be set up.
And I think it's cool how you were talking about you set up downwind, because my whole entire fishing career, I've always been told that fish look up current.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably has a big deal to do with it. And as fishermen, we hate casting into the wind,
Right.
But it makes it, I mean, in my opinion, over the years, it's made a difference.
Yeah, I think obviously with casting, it could be a little bit difficult, but when you're throwing those heavier baits, I just feel like the way the current's going, I think fish set up down the current, I guess it's hard to explain, but so that they're looking into the current so that they can see fish moving down the current, I guess.
They're kind of lazy.
Yeah, I mean, some of those clear lakes, you'll see those things shoot up, and so they will chase. But yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, at least for bass, they're not super big chasers.
Talking about, this is going to be completely off subject, but and I think I've told you this story, talking about bass shooting up. So we were fishing a tournament a couple of years ago out at PK, and most of y'all know PK is a super clear water lake. And I had one of my best friends fishing with me, and he throws a dadgum popper out there in 45 foot of water and had an 1102 come up and smoke it.
Dang.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock in the morning. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, but we were talking about fish looking up, so it kind of made me think about it.
Honestly, I never really considered topwater like a midday type of bait, or just dead of the summer noon type bait. It was like a early morning, late evening type bait. But when I was living out in Hawaii, and they got a freshwater lake out there, I was throwing that popper in the middle of the day, and I caught so many fish. So now, this time of year, I'll throw a popper in the middle of the day, and you'll still get bit. I mean, it's amazing what some of those fish will do in the middle of the day. So.
I mean, and I think most all bass fishermen, we love topwater. I love topwater. I mean, there's some people, I got a really good friend of mine that he's old school, and every time I fish a tournament, if I have a bad day or something, or even if I have a good day, it's like, let me guess, you're throwing that dang frog. But I love a topwater bite, and I love it because most of the time you get a good quality bite.
Yeah.
And they may miss it, and it's going to make you mad. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'll fire right back in there and twitch that frog a little bit and catch them, get them again.
Yeah. There's not many times where you won't see a topwater, like a popper or something tied on one of my rods. I mean, I think it's a good search bait, and then you kind of see how they're what their mood is. If you don't catch one on top water, you're kind of like, all right, they're not in a huge like feeding, actively chasing, kind of mood. You kind of slow things down from there. But I'm with you, man. There's nothing like a top water buy. There's nothing like that type of fishing.
Man,
What's your let's say popper of choice?
man, I like throwing the yellow magic. I mean, that's you can't. I mean,
yeah.
the bone colored.
Yep.
You can't. I mean, they're expensive. I don't know what kind of fish juice they put on them, man, but the fish eat
Oh
them.
yeah. You need to try. And I'm a huge Yellow Magic. I love their poppers. I could probably have one tied on the boat right now. But Excite Baits, they have a popper as well that's very similar to Yellow Magic. And the last time me and Tim fished on Lewisville, that Excite Bait popper outfished that Yellow Magic, and he was shocked and impressed. He was like, "All right, I'm a believer." So
Wow, man, I'm hearing a lot of good things coming from that Excite bait line. I mean, it's
yeah, they've been around for a while, and they're at a pilot point. They've been around for a while, but they're mainly like soft plastics, and then they've come out with their hard bait line, and man, they got some really nice hard baits. We carry the baits line.
okay.
Yeah, shout out to Buddy with baits, but I just love their reels. I mean, solid aluminum frame.
It's like picking up a feather.
Oh
You
man,
don't even feel
they're
it.
awesome. They're awesome reels. So we do have customers that enjoy those reels. So we'll carry 3 to 4 in the different models, and once we sell out, we'll make another order. Little things like that we like to carry so that somebody's like, I've been wanting to try one of these, and I don't know where to buy them, and I'm glad you guys have them, and they just pick them up. So
Your buddy is his name, right?
that's his
Yeah.
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
He. You told me this kind of the story about him. He's just a normal guy like you and
Oh,
I,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Actually, he and I used to work together doing he's a engineer by trade, and it's funny because he would come to the office once a week, and the first thing me and him would do on Wednesdays would be talk fishing. We'd spend like an hour every morning, and we'd talk fishing, and he had all these ideas, and he had two companies. He had the baits, and then the other one what was the other? This is like a saltwater brand, but the guy's got a lot of ideas, and that's why his reels are the way they are. He's just got so many cool ideas, man. And buddy, if you're watching this, you need to come out with some of those hard baits that we used to talk about, man. He's got some awesome ideas, man, on some hard baits. So,
cool.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. I met him a couple of years ago, and I'd never held a baits reel before. I'd heard about them, but I'd never really. And man, I could not believe the different. You can't even tell that you're holding anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's how light they are, and you could tell that this guy has put a ton of hours in
Oh, yeah.
thinking about every single detail of this reel.
Oh yeah, and he prides himself on trying to keep it all local, like parts and being built in the U.S. He's a big patriot, man. I love that guy. He's awesome, awesome guy. He's actually kind of like a mentor of mine,
Okay.
because he's owned several businesses, and when I first started NTX, I would kind of reach out to him and say, "Hey, man, like this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking, man." He was a big mentor and kind of told me like, "Man, this is what you need to be doing." And I'll be honest, like when I first started doing this, it was strictly labor. I was doing everything I did was I was making all my money on the labor part. I wasn't making money on any of the product, any of that stuff. And he told me, it's like, "Man, you're leaving a lot of money on the table." He's like, "It's not a lot, but it will help you out, man. There's not a huge margin in the product. It's the labor part, but even just the extra little money that we get from selling it helps our businesses out."
Absolutely.
So when people are always like, "Well, you guys are you guys the same price as Bass Pro or Shields?" Yes, we are, but what you get with us when you buy from us is customer service, and the fact that that you're helping a small business out, man. I mean, Bass Pro Shields are huge multi-million-dollar companies, and we're just trying to make it every month, man.
Right.
I mean, we're just trying to make it. So.
And let's be honest, when Chris is talking about customer service, and my customers and your customers could probably attest to this. If you're out there fishing a tournament on a Saturday or a Sunday and you start having issues and you pick up the phone and you call me or Chris, as long as we're not in church or something like that, we're going to answer the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we get phone calls, and we're not just, oh, they can call me back Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. No, we care.
Yeah.
We carry our phones on us, and we really do care about our customers and about the product that we're giving them.
Yeah.
And so that's when I try to tell people, if you call outside of business hours to one of these bigger box stores, you're not going to get anybody. And it's tough.
Yeah, it is. I think early on, what I realized is customer service goes a long way, and treating people fairly and just letting them know that they're not just a number. It goes a long way. I have people to this day and say, man, I know you're not like my on-call guy, but I just really appreciate the fact that you'll text me back on a Saturday evening or early. There's been so many times where guys will call or text 5:30, 6 in the morning on a Sunday because they got a tournament and their trolling motor won't turn on or something like that. And it's a simple like, hey, did you check your breaker? Oh man, no, I didn't. And then, okay, everything's working. Thank you so much. And that goes a long way in our business.
And don't feel ashamed to do that, because man, if you're fixing to fish a tournament that you just threw down, a couple $100 for an entry fee, and you got all this stuff going on through your brain, you may not think about that breaker. It may be something very simple, but you're calling Chris and I on a clear brain.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of things going on in your head. Oh my goodness, this is not working, this and that. How am I going to get to my fish? How am I going to do that? You're calling us, and we just had our first cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
we're not having to stress about
Yeah.
that stuff. So
Now, sometimes I don't even think I have my eyes open yet.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, my active target's showing no source. Okay, let's try this first, and then all right, it's working. Cool. And that's what you do it for, man. Is to really take care of these guys and make sure their equipment's working like it's supposed to. And if it's not, at least trying to help them out and make them feel like you're just not there to leave them high and dry when you really need them. Because, like I said, let's be honest, some of these big box stores, they're not going to do that.
right.
I mean, I can go into my business DMs, and there's a lot of 9 p.m., 10 p.m. responses from me saying, yeah, this is what you need. This is the cable you need to make that work or whatever. And you're just not going to get that.
Yeah. And one thing that I mean, this is something I wanted to talk about a little bit is, we care about our customers so much in the fishing industry that Chris and I have a great relationship. And a lot of times in this business, there's a lot of dog eat dog. There's quite a bit of cutthroat, but it's not just about making money for Chris and I. This is like, we care about people. There's been times where Chris has had some customers that I remember there was a guy from down in San Angelo
Oh, yeah.
that you had
Ronnie.
Yeah, you had a warranty issue. Shout out to Ronnie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But anyway, he had an issue with the trolling motor, and it was a whole lot more efficient for him just to pull over here. Chris got me the motor. I swapped it out for him. There's been instances where I've got people that are calling me from out east, and it's a whole lot more efficient for them to go to Chris than it is to come to me. So like, we're working together as a shop in this industry to help y'all and to make it easier on y'all. And what do you got anything to say on that?
I mean, it's not, people think that because technically what's the word here? The word I'm looking for, like
competitors.
Yeah, we're competitors, that we shouldn't be working together. That's a big stigma that, oh, you guys are competitors. You guys are trying to fight for who's the best and all that. And I just don't think that's the way things need to be. I think we need to be supporting each other for the great, which is the customer, because when we do good by our brands that we carry and we take care of our customers and we're helping them out together, I mean, the customer wins. And I just think this industry is so cutthroat, and you see it all the time. People talking nonsense on social media and tearing one shop apart and making fun of another. And it's, man, I don't have time for that. All I'm worried about is my customers, and then helping out K5 whenever we can.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it should be about. And hopefully people realize that this time that we have here is so short, and being miserable and just trying to be so cutthroat that's not the way, man. It's
No.
just, now we should just be helping each other out. And like you said, man, there's plenty to eat for everybody.
Yeah.
There's tons of work out there, and figure out a way to help everybody out and share the workload, and then at the end of the day, everybody's happy, man.
Absolutely.
So,
Man, I just and you'll see it now. You're going to see it a lot. So when Chris has stuff posted on Facebook, I mean, I'm one of the first ones probably to watch it, and I'm one of the first ones to hit the freaking heart symbol on there, because it's cool to see, man. I learned stuff from them doing installs, and probably one of the very first likes that I get when something posts on my website is from Chris, from NTX, from Chris. And anyway, I'm just super appreciative of this relationship, man.
Me too, man.
It's awesome.
It's been great to see both businesses grow, and I think it's only going to get better. And then now, like, we've partnered up with Marine Services Plus right next door, and for you guys that have a Mercury, he's a Mercury dealer and does all their warranty work. Small business, small shop like us, but man, they go above and beyond for their customers too, man. And it's been great to grow the relationship with them, and I'm excited to see what the next year has. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys that are like, oh man, this is so cool. I can get my service done and my electronics done, and I'm in and out in just a couple days. That's the thing about our shop, is we're appointment only, which a lot of guys will appreciate, because their boat's not sitting around for weeks getting rained on, just dust and dirt, whatever. I mean, you guys pay a lot of money for these boats. I treat your boat like it's mine, and make sure it's inside the shop at all times. And when it gets done, I call and say, hey, your boat's ready to be picked up. And guess what? If you can't pick it up, we take it across the street to a enclosed storage unit where it's locked up and it's inside still. So we have little things that we do like that, but it's all about getting the customer in and out, man.
Yeah.
Man, it's about getting them back on the water as quickly as we can.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to take a break real quick, and we will conclude when we come back. Y'all stay with us, and we'll see you here in just a second. This show is brought to you by K5 Trolling Motors and Electronics out here in Weatherford, Texas. If you need a trolling motor serviced, if you're looking to upgrade the trolling motor, upgrade the electronics, give them a call. We'd love to help you out. Our number is 817-757-9915. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Give us a call. Also, this show is also brought to you by
NTX Elite Marine in Lewisville. Give us a call, 972-318-1717.
Man, give him a holler, guys. I'm telling you, this guy is a walking encyclopedia on marine electronics. So that's what I tell everybody, man.
Thanks,
and you
man.
put in the work, and man, I'm so thankful to have this relationship.
Likewise, man.
Welcome back to Texas Live with K5 here. I got a really good friend of mine, Chris Baires, NTX Elite Marine in Lewisville. Hey, so we were going to talk a little bit. We've got some pretty exciting things coming up here in the future. There's not a whole lot of service centers for Garmin trolling motors.
Nope.
Around here.
Nope. Actually, just had a call this morning on my way in, asking if we service Garmin force trolling motors, and unfortunately, at least for our shop, we don't. You have to go through their little training that they have, which, look, for both of us, will be in December, and we'll both be there. So you guys that do have Garmin Force, after December, we'll be able to service those for you guys, which they make a great trolling motor, man. The Garmin Force is a great trolling motor. And have you had a chance to install any of the Force Pros?
I have not on the Force Pro, but I heard it is.
Oh, it's awesome.
Lynn was talking about it, and was that the one where the forward and reverse, the head doesn't have to turn?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So it's got the reverse where you hit the prop button twice, and then the prop will spin backwards, which is great for. I mean, I don't think it really affects the guys around here, but like the elite guys, they took away the ability to have the crappie brakes because they see that as a form of trolling. Well, if you have the Garmin Force Pro, you don't really need brakes because you can just go in reverse and back the boat up without blowing those fish up. But man, that's a great trolling motor. We just put one on our showroom boat, and I mean it's
Sweet.
yeah, oh yeah,
Man.
and I think the biggest improvement on that trolling motor is the GPS. I would say that was their biggest downfall with their original Force was the GPS. It would want to kind of jog around a little bit. Didn't want to kind of keep you there, but now they're using a dual band GPS, so it's keeping you there a lot better. So I'm excited about that training. So
Right.
I think it'll be great to have that for the guys that have Garmin Force. They don't have to. I'm not really sure what other shops are servicing Garmin around here.
I don't know. I don't know of any.
Yeah, there might be some that are doing it. I don't know if they're authorized. I'm saying
Right.
so. I think that's where it's going to change for shops like ours, where we'll be an authorized service center for Garmin. So
Kind of cool. We are both authorized service centers for Minn Kota, and we're going to be taking a trip early next year,
yeah.
February.
So February, I think we're slotted for the second week in February. I think
we might be snow driving.
maybe just going up there to kind of renew our Minn Kota certification. And when we went last time, the Quest had just come out, so it was awesome to be one of the first service centers to see that and work on it. The thing about Minn Kota is they kind of want us to renew our certification is it 3 years or 2 years?
I think it's 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you and I have been friends for 2 years. I
Yeah.
think we met 2 years ago.
I think it was September of 23 is when we did ours. So
Yeah.
I think we're due. So it's good training up there, and I'm excited. I just enjoy doing any training because it shows you like the new technology, the advancements that they're doing, and you can kind of share that with customers. Because some customers, I mean, they just have horror stories, but you can tell them like, hey man, they have this coming out to fix that issue. And so I'm excited about that training.
And I can't say enough good things about Minn Kota. I just want to brag about them for a minute because, they brought us up there. They put us through all their training. They got us hands-on with the motor. Like there was literally, we broke down every piece of equipment that Minn Kota had and put it all back together. And if we had any questions, I mean, they've got it down to a science.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, I mean, it will blow your mind how smart they are. But also, I want to brag about their customer service because Chris and I have a hotline as an authorized service center. We pick up the phone and call them. Most of the time on the first or second ring, we have a subject matter expert on the phone. If we can't figure it out, we have answers immediately. And
shout out to Brenda.
Oh, yeah. Brenda.
Oh, man. She's
amazing.
She knows her stuff, man.
Yeah.
She's
very sharp.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think I've called them one time where I didn't have somebody that could help me stat, and we got it figured out.
Yeah, they have great customer service, man.
They do. There's another little training we're going to. So Chris and I are both part of the National Marine Electronics Association.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a basic installer. You're an advanced, aren't you?
I'm basic as well. Yeah.
So we're going to be both getting our advanced January.
Yep. They have their training out in Florida that we'll be a part of, and that's just through one of the distributors that we're partnered with. Both of the shops are partnered with. They're basically allowing us to be a part of that advanced training, which is great for us because it just goes to show our customers that we do know the equipment. We're just not slapping it on your boat. We actually know how the technology works and how it's supposed to be installed. So
right. And I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that stuff. And I don't know. I can't speak for you, but
I'm the same way, man. I want to learn as much as I can so that when I'm talking to people, they feel confident about what they're getting and not just, I hate to say it again, going to one of these big box stores and they're just throwing the equipment on there, having people pick up and they they truly don't know and understand how the equipment works. So then the customer's like, well, they just gave me my boat back and they really didn't tell me how it all worked. And it's like, man, okay, well, did you know you could do this, or this is how you turn it on? Like the guys that are running the Fortrex, right? Had a guy, he got an Ultrex installed, and he goes, yeah, how do you turn this thing on? I'm like, they didn't tell you how to turn it on? He goes, no. He goes, I had a Fortrex. I'm like, oh man, like that stuff blows my mind. But yeah, it'll be good training, man. I'm excited about it.
I'm looking forward to it. And so we're going to go to Orlando in January. So, hopefully the weather will be fairly decent.
It should be. I might be a little chilly, but when I worked out there, it was nice.
Speaking of Florida, something that's really cool about these trainings that we go to is we're actually in a classroom with other technicians around the country. And so when I met Chris, I also met another gentleman. His name's Kevin. Shout out to Rod's Performance Marine in Naples, Florida. He's a super nice guy. He sounds like a Yankee because he's from Boston or something. Hey, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, man. Yeah. But anyway, Kevin's a super nice guy. I didn't know, I had a really tough time trying to learn some of the saltwater stuff. So when he invited me to come down there to his shop, and I worked with him for 3 or 4 days, half a day of working in the shop and a half a day of going fishing in Florida, man. It was really cool. And he's a phone call away. If he has issues with a freshwater motor, he calls me. So I guess what I'm saying is if we build a net of people that we can call upon, you know. So if they're having an issue with a trolling motor down in Florida, and it may be we have the same problem here, I could call him and we can bounce ideas off of each other. And it's just a really sweet opportunity. Like Kevin, he's coming for Garmin training in Houston. When we go to Houston in December, he's flying down, and I didn't even know that he was coming. Our Garmin rep actually told me, he goes, hey, do you know a guy named Kevin from Naples, Florida? And I said, yeah. He goes, man, he requested to be in the same class with you and Chris. And I said, nice. Perfect, man. You know, that's really cool. And all of us met in Mankato. So
yeah. Oh yeah. It was good times, man, meeting everybody up there and just being able to keep that network and ask questions when I always ask you, man, you're my trolling motor guru. So when I have questions about trolling motor, even though we're a service center, sometimes like just having another fresh brain that knows the equipment, it's nice to be able to like bounce ideas off of you. So
absolutely. And I ain't shy about calling him either. I'm telling you, you can ask him. It'll be a lot of times I'm out here working in my shop till 10, 11 o'clock some nights, and I'll shoot Chris a text and say, hey man, are you awake? And I feel bad doing that to a point, but now it's gotten to the point where he'll do the same thing to me if he's working on a trolling motor. So
yeah, because we know it's important, but especially you're right there about to finish that job, and you just need that little bit of help on figuring out what's going on. You know, ultimate goal is to get the boat back to the customer, man. So
you get it right.
Yeah.
That way they're not having to come back for a while. Oh yeah. Know? But anyway, man, I don't really have anything else at this time. I mean, we're gonna have Chris on here. I'm hoping next time maybe we'll have his best friend Tim on here with us. Yeah, Tim's
he's in Vegas, so yeah, man, he's having the time of his life right now.
I just feel bad for him.
Yeah, Nah, it's his and his wife's 10-year anniversary.
Man,
so happy anniversary to them. They're celebrating their 10-year anniversary there.
Hope you are having a blast, man. Yeah. But next time we'll be sure we get him on the broadcast with us. And man, he's also a really good dude. So, man, you got anything else?
No, man, I appreciate you having us on. And yeah, man, let's keep it rolling.
Man, I can't say this enough. If you're on the east side of the Metroplex, man, stop in there and check out NTX Elite Marine. It's probably one of the cleanest shops you'll ever see. They pride on keeping it just out. You know, it's very organized. It's very clean. And you go in there and talk fishing, man. Talk to Chris, talk to Tim. He's got a couple of new technicians in there that are big time anglers. So they love it too. Get in there and see them, you know, go check them out. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the water.
Thank you for tuning in to Texas Live with K5, your #1 source for all things outdoors in North Texas. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, or Spotify to support us and enjoy more North Texas outdoor content. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you're interested in joining the show or us mentioning your business throughout the show, contact us at k5trollingmotors@gmail.com.